New report showing Seattle ranked third best market for new tech jobs last year. That's according to CompTIA's year in review. Seattle added more than 13,000 new tech jobs last year, growing tech employment by nearly 5%. But with major layoffs recently announced for places like Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and more, what does this year look like for tech here in Seattle? Joining us now live to go over this year's prognosis, Chief Technology Evangelist for CompTIA, James Stanger. James, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Bill. Good to be here, man.
Yeah, good to have you. So to get right into it, with all of these layoffs, it is, a pretty tenuous time for tech folks here in Seattle.
You know, there have been layoffs. One of the things that's never fun is to lose your gig. But what we're finding at CompTIA through our research is just like the rest of the nation, we're actually seeing an increase of demand for IT jobs. So yeah, there have been layoffs in certain sectors, like what traditionally folks would call the tech sector. But many of those folks are landing quite good jobs in other areas. For example, in manufacturing, for example, or healthcare, the fintech industry, things like that.
What does the future hold for tech jobs here in the Northwest?
You know, the great thing about the Northwest is that we have terrific engines, whether you want to talk about Amazon, Microsoft, Boeing. But the thing that you're going to see moving forward is tech is everywhere these days, not just in huge conglomerate companies. So many people are getting tech jobs in companies that you would never really consider to be tech companies. Things like healthcare companies or a hospital, Mary Bridge or whatever. It's things like that you're going to see in the future. You're also going to see continued startups, though they'll have to be on a good paying basis. In other words, any sort of startup is going to have to be based on, providing true value to the market.
What would you say is the overall health of the tech market here in Seattle compared to elsewhere around the country?
Increased health. We're looking really good in Seattle. There's always bumps along the way, but it's something that you're going to see. If there are any sorts of news that you see, think of it as a regression to a mean, and that's a fancy word for saying our average over the years is actually we need more tech workers all of the time. On average, there are more jobs than there are people to fill them on average, and any sort of news that you might see to the contrary only gets us back to a mean that might be back in 2018 or 2019, which was still in record territory. We're experiencing record demand for IT folks.
There's a lot of folks concerned about heading back to the office in person now. How is remote work looking for tech here, and what do you predict for the near future?
I think you're going to see a hybrid kind of world. In other words, you're going to see people and organizations figure out what works for them. Is it going to be 100% remote? I'm not sure all companies are going to 100% remote. I'm not sure it's going to go to 100% in person either. Companies are finding the right stasis. And the companies that are interested in a good work-life balance, they're going to find that remote work is more than just an option. It's something that you're going to have to manage and work with moving forward.
CompTIA's James Stanger, thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Anytime, man.